Hello, dear friends. Some very surprising revelations have come out from various sources. Opinion piece. Game over in summer. Final climax. This transition is very real. We are on the precipice of change. Great things are announced in silence. Not a storm, but a blessing is coming. Let's start. The famous financial popularizer, who goes by the pseudonym Goldilocks, believes that this June is the end game or game over, as banks around the world increase their capital requirements on commodity-backed assets. In his view, we are coming to a final climax of what we have been looking for. Goldilocks believes that the first RV ends on 30th June, but the second RV begins in July. This transition is very real and is based on actual government documents signed by international lawyers committed to legislation around the world. The financial collapse is expected to occur in mid-June, but no one knows for sure. We are on the precipice of all good things like financial change. Revelations. Goldilocks revelations. On 21st March 2023, the new international payment system came into play. From that moment on, we started working with tokenized currency reforms for our new standardized commodity-backed payment system. This process, which started in March, ends in June 2023, putting new values into our economy. They are new values because no asset stands alone in the future without a commodity to back it up and give it real equity. That is why from March to the end of June, there has been a revaluation of the entire payment system to complement the revaluation of everything over the last year and a half. At the end of June, we will apply what we have done by completing the entire QFS at the administrative level based on standardized protocols in the banking system, with which will result in a digital asset-based trading system. In the end, these new values will be the final revaluation of an entire global economy that will trigger a financial reset. On 19th June, the Bank of England will migrate to the ISO 20022 International Payment System. These final additions to the QFS will include all the world's major countries within a new ecosystem where decisions will not be made with just one country. Companies around the world are committed to the transition to the new SOFR lending system and are struggling to survive. The SOFR is the secure overnight funding rate and is the rate used by banks to price dollar-denominated loans. The SOFR lending system has standardized protocols that must be adhered to in the future for banks to service their local economies. The new SOFR guaranteed economy moves us away from the debt-based fiat system and towards a gold standard. The LIBOR interbank lending rate is disappearing after 40 years of operation in the financial system. The end of LIBOR began in 2012 when several London-based entities manipulated the rate and European regulators launched an investigation. Market participants should take all necessary steps to ensure that they understand how the terms of their contract interact with LIBOR settlement. Market participants should continue to actively transition contracts referencing dollar LIBOR and not rely on the synthetic configuration. The 3-month sterling synthetic LIBOR configuration is expected to cease at the end of March 2024. Market participants using this LIBOR configuration should take the necessary steps to prepare for this. The final implementation of the Basel III regulatory framework brings more robust and standardized capital requirements for the largest banks. This month is the end game, as banks around the world increase their capital requirements on commodity-backed assets. On 1st July 2023, formal legal notices will be published complementing the implementation of these decisions. As you can see from the publications of the last year and a half, this transition is very real and based on actual government documents signed by international lawyers and committed to legislation around the world. Wait a little longer. As you can see, we are coming to a final climax of what we have been looking for. Reset news. A storm is brewing on the horizon. Get ready for the revelation of shocking statements. The financial collapse is expected to occur in mid-June, but no one knows. Charlie Watt indicated that the level 4th notification would come after the EBS. Be strong enough to stand alone. Be yourself enough to stand apart. And when the time comes, be wise enough to be together. Mark Sira believes that the debt jubilee of biblical proportions is coming, that will have profound consequences. He adds that the BRICS nations are considering plans to incorporate digital financial assets backed by tangible assets into their financial system, and that gold will play a very important role in the monetary reset. The new development bank created by the BRICS countries can become a kind of clearinghouse if the idea of creating a common currency for BRICS members materializes. The developing world wants to escape the gravitational pull of the dollar by shifting more reserves to gold. JP Morgan Chase transferred billions in debt securities to inflate its capital. Texas is passing legislation to block central bank digital currency and enact its own asset-backed currency. There are many high-level meetings scheduled this June due to the financial meltdown. Mark Sira thinks we are going to get commodity-backed currencies and debt settlement. Alan Greenspan stressed the importance of the gold standard in a free society. He argues that gold and economic freedom go hand in hand, as gold serves as a reliable medium of exchange and store of value. Greenspan criticizes the abandonment of the gold standard, which has led to excessive deficit spending and the erosion of wealth through inflation. He suggests that the welfare state opposes the gold standard because it protects property rights and limits its ability to confiscate wealth. He stressed the importance of the gold standard in promoting economic stability and safeguarding prosperity. Messages. Jared Rand conference call. We are on the precipice of all good things like financial change. All human beings are extremely powerful souls or beings in the light of God. We are not this body. We reincarnate many, even millions of times to learn our lessons to progress to higher dimensions. We have the divine spark in our soul, and we cannot die. We can create our future, and with the collective consciousness of all, create a wonderful fifth-dimensional planet. If you wish to enter into a higher vibrational experience of love, peace, health, collaboration, and well-being, then it is imperative to maintain a state of harmony, come what may. Focus on that which is beauty. In moments of joy, do not focus on what is not beauty. Focus on what is real, not what is unreal. The three-dimensional expression is but an illusion, and you are the reality. What you have created in the three-dimensional expression is no longer real if you believe it is not. Go forth, says Archangel Michael. You are a radiant being of infinite light. You are here to make a difference, and by your presence alone, you assist in the upliftment of Earth and humankind. You are continuing the light work of the teachers or prophets of old, says Kehrach. Great things are announced in silence. It happens that everything changes because the individual being changes. This will is becoming more and more evident. Many people will break with the old life in unconsciousness and end it. It's very easy to change something. If you knew how easy it is, you would have no more fears and all worries would vanish. Become aware of your strength and your power. This is the key that opens all doors and the gateway to freedom, says Master Lanto. There comes a time when the celestials feel compelled to intervene. According to Archangel Michael, a tipping point is when the darkness becomes too powerful and too strong, and then the darkness has to be exposed and destroyed. And that point was reached on Earth some time ago. Michael says the angels on the other side don't come as a storm, in quotes. We don't go out as a raging force or avenging angels. We don't go out in what many has described as a Armageddon. No, we have moved forward in a partnership of sacred union to not only stem the tide but to turn the tide. And that is why there are so many angels on Earth right now. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.